Hello. So obviously Hare isn't happening this weekend. I had hoped to possibly do Hare, but the weekend kind of got away from me. I ended up getting wrapped up in a couple other projects and family stuff, so that didn't end up happening. But I am working on Hare. I was working on him last night, and I was working on him today. I'm working on a new set of ears for the wig. This one is all sewn up, well, mostly sewn up. I just have a little bit of the tip to do. But this one is all sewn up. It just needs to be brushed out. But I have this one that is not sewn. I did this one last night and it was going really well. And then my sewing machine decided to take a great big poop all over itself. So I had to walk away. So I'm back at it today. So I figured while I have one that is deconstructed, I would show what goes into making ears because I find that interesting and I figured someone else out there might. So I will show you guys what goes into making a pair of Hare ears. Okay, so this is the ear that is not done yet. This one is not sewn. It is comprised of a couple different pieces. So I have a mesh interfacing on the inside. This is what gives the ear structure and helps it stand up. It also makes it a little bit less floppy in the middle. This will get covered in a piece of pink fur, but that's not until later. On the inside, I have a piece of wire that it comes out of the bottom, goes all the way up to the tip, and then all the way down, which will allow for the most flexibility, and it'll hold the pose. So if I ever wanted Hare to have stand-uppy, actual, like, white rabbit ears, I could do that, but I would never do that because Hare doesn't have those kind of ears. And then obviously the last bit is the brown fur on the outside. Now, if you're running this through a machine, what you have to do, especially if you're working with anything with fake fur, because of the way the machine works, you have to wrap it in, like if wrapping tissue paper. What you do is you take the piece, you wrap it around like that, and then you sew like this. And then after you're done sewing it, you just take the tissue paper off. It comes off really easily. The reason why you do that is in order for this to move through the machine, the little feet kind of tickle it down. And with the long fur, it gets into the machine and it gums it up, and that's just no good. So you have to put a barrier between the fur and the teeth so that it'll actually run through properly. So I'm going to do that as long as my machine is going to behave itself, and I will show you guys what comes after that. I moved my camera, and I'm wondering why I didn't just film the other ones with this, because this backdrop is a lot more interesting. So yeah, I'm going to test the machine. We're going to make sure that it works, and then we will get on our way. Okay, I think we're good. Make sure I'm not going to run into a pin. So you guys didn't see almost anything in that video, and I didn't realize it until after it was already done. So I will change the camera view for the next time. But so this is what we ended up with, and you can see that on the inside, it did sew through the fur, both layers of fur, and the mesh on the inside, and we didn't hit any pins or the wire, which is good. So to remove this stuff, you just kind of pull it off. And it comes right off. You don't really have to worry too much about little pieces. But time crunch of the camera's fucking me up, so give me just 1 second. So you can see that this side now is all sewn in. If you look around on the back, you can sort of see where my stitch line is. What I'm going to do later when I'm all done is I'm going to take a comb and I'm going to brush it so that all of the fur that is stuck underneath that stitch will become loose, so that it'll just be kind of covered up. Because this is a diamond sort of shape, what I tend to do is I'll go up and then I'll stop. I'll stop like there, and then I'll start down here and then go up. I don't lock my stitches on this, even though I probably should. That's kind of good practice when you're sewing, but I really don't want to get this fur stuck underneath the stitches, just because then you'll never get it out and then it won't be as disguised. So that's why I kind of go a little bit further down and then go up. So what I'll do with this side is I'm going to try to go up and then flip the piece around and then go back down, but we will see if that ends up happening. Yeah, so. All right, I don't know if this is going to be any better. This light is really bright and I can't turn it off. So we're just going to have to live with how it is. So let's see. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this side works, huh? I feel like it's not moving. Oh boy. I'm trying to really be sensitive with the machine because I really don't want it to gum up. I have to turn right about here, so let's see. So to newcomers with the sewing machine, if you ever have to rotate, keep your needle down, lift your foot up, and then just, well. So yeah, if you have to rotate it, keep your needle all the way down, lift your foot up, and then you can kind of direct it how you need it. It's also a good way so you can check to make sure your shit is still aligned. And so then we'll go all the way down to hopefully the end, and then we will check to make sure that the bobbin is behaving itself. So let's give this a go. Oh, hear that? That was a clink. I hit something. I think, well, I'll finish and then I'll see what happens, so. Okay, well, I didn't make it. The machine's gummed up. So, the needle is, yeah, well, let's see if I can get this out of the machine. I don't know exactly what is stuck underneath here. Let's take the, so yeah, oops, okay, yeah, so I'll be right back. This is what the front looks like, and this is what the back looks like. You can see, this is, apparently it was like that from almost the very beginning, so I don't know what caused that. And now I get to rip it all out and I get to do it again. So there we go. When stuff like this happens, what I tend to find is easiest is if you take your seam ripper, you leave the paper on, you take your seam ripper and you rip the seam out, and then all of the little threads and bits, all these extra little, you know, all this stuff will come off with the tissue paper, and then you can just kind of roll it up and toss it. You don't have to worry about little bits and pieces. So I guess we'll do that. And then we will try again. So I ripped the seam out and I've got that. What I tend to find when this happens, no matter what your machine says, you gotta rethread it. So, this might also tell us exactly what happened. So let's, maybe try to direct the camera down. So I can see that the bobbin is just fucked up. I don't know how this happened at the very beginning, apparently. Not when I ran into whatever I ran into, which is, I'm assuming it was probably the black wire, opposable wire. So Yeah, I don't know what happened with my bobbin at all, actually. There's all sorts of extra threads happening. So, okay, so now we will rethread the bobbin. It goes this way. I'm still new with this machine. I've only had it about a year and I've only used it a handful of times, so still very new to it. And then I also will rethread the top too, just because while you're doing it, you might as well do it. This also has a handy little self threading needle that I still don't entirely know how to use. You can't even see what I'm doing. But it's okay because it's not like I know what I'm doing anyway. So, it's the first time I did that without screwing it up. So let's go ahead and run my extra piece of Hare fabric from a t-shirt I made. And we will... Okay, so let's go ahead and get this bobbin going. Go ahead and get this through, and then we'll feed this bad boy through, make sure that it's going to work, and then we will try again with the ears. Okay. What's happening? Where all this thread come from? What is happening? Oh boy. Well, so, oh God. See, this is why I stopped working on this last night, because the machine just wanted to be a headache. So I guess we'll try that again. So I rethreaded the machine one more time. We're gonna give this one more shot, and then hopefully, please, machine, please don't be a pain. I love you. I kiss you. Okay. Ah, there we go. That's a good boy. I don't know why you have to have a gender, but you do. With the ears, and fingers crossed that it will work. Okay, ladies and germs, let's see if this works any better. So it's not going to go all the way up to the top, but that's okay. We will make do with what we've got. So let's give this a go. It goes slowly. Not super fast. A little slow. My hand is again in the way of the camera, so you can see that this is down. We're going to lift up the little footy foot, rotate it, readjust our fabric, and then make sure that the wire is not in the way. Oh boy. Okay, so I didn't even finish it, and I can already tell we're a problem because I put my finger back here, which you can't see on camera, and I can feel that we're having the same issue. So, yeah. So I'm at a loss because I'm not doing anything different than what I did on this side. And for some reason, when I get to this side, it just doesn't, and I'm not doing anything different. So I'm very confused. This is why I stopped last night, because it was becoming a major headache and I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So it's also part of why I was using the other ears on my wig, because I knew it was going to be like this. So I've rethreaded the machine, and what I've decided I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make the width of the stitch wider or longer so that there's more room for the thread to breathe before it gets pulled back up through the machine. I think that might be what is gumming up the works. This is part of why I don't like sewing. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong just with my ignorance. Who even knows? I don't know what I'm doing. I've used a sewing machine a bit in my life, but I've always had issues with it, which means it's probably me because it's between a couple of different machines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the other straight side through the machine, and I'll worry about the tip later because that seems to be where I'm running into my issues. So I'm sure you're all sick of watching me feed this through my machine, so I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when I'm done with the other side. So I took a little tea break, and I have just run this through the machine again. I haven't even checked it, so you guys get to see, we get to find out in real time how this went. I think it's okay. Doot. Aha. Okay, most excellent. So, this side is now down. So maybe changing the width of the stitch actually did something. Who knows? But the straight part isn't the part that I was having an issue with. It's the tip. Darn the tip. Let's give this another, we'll try again. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and give this a shot, and I'm going to try to record again, and we'll see if this will actually work. Another thing that I found is so I'm using the foot, and I'm trying to get that as close to the wire as possible. That way I know for a fact that this little needle is never going to run into it. What I decided to do this time also is instead of doing like a straight stitch, I'm doing a zigzag stitch in the hopes that that will allow the fur to come out from underneath the stitch a little bit easier when I do go to brush it out. So let's go ahead and give this one more try. I still have to go up. I'm just going to go up because I'm not even going to chance turning it around. I'll deal with this side afterwards. So let's go ahead and give this a shot. And I probably won't get the whole thing on camera. So I'll catch you guys when I'm done with this side. You guys, what am I doing wrong? Look! This is also just because it's the same color. This is not fur. This is all bobbin thread. What am I doing wrong? I don't know. I'm not doing anything different. I have no idea what's going on with this machine, and this is why I stopped working on it last night, because I was tired of stopping and starting. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. This is bananas to me. I'm at a loss. I'm at a complete and utter loss right now. I don't know what's going on. This is why I hate sewing machines. I'm just gonna say it. So I pulled the thread out again. I'm not gonna let this defeat me. I have to go for a run in like 2 hours, so I'm giving myself an hour and a half to get the damn tip of this ear sewn down before I have to go get changed and get ready to go. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm completely flabbergasted. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Because on this side it's fine when I'm going up, but for some reason it's the diagonal and I'm not running into anything. It's the exact same settings. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. So, but I will not let this defeat me. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to get this done today so I can move on. I can put this damn thing away and not deal with it anymore. That's what I'm going to do. So I think my machine is having stage fright, because I think what's going on, because I've realized every time I fuck it up, so when I'm recording. So I'm going to go ahead and do one side of the tip of the ear and not record it. And hopefully that will work. I've already rethreaded the machine again for what, the fifth time? Fourth or fifth, or maybe sixth time. So I'm going to give this stinker, because I'm deciding to name the damn thing the Stinker Sewing Machine. Because it's being a little bitch. I'm going to go ahead and try one more time. run one side of the tip of the ear through, see if maybe I can have better luck that way. And I will be back when that side is done, because we're in this together now, and you guys see it through with me. So I'll see you on the other side. So I just ran it through. I gave this machine many lovings before, because I really, 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 really want this to work. So we're gonna take this out. We're gonna take a look at what we got, and we're gonna hope that the stinker is not going to be a stinker. I really hope. Okay. All right. Well, it looks good. So the tissue paper didn't cover all the way to the top, but that's fine. For some, it didn't gum up the machine, so it's okay. So, we're gonna talk with our nice lady voice for the machine. And I'm going to do the other side now, and hopefully it's gonna be good. Hopefully. We're taking another tea break because I'm sure you guys can guess how it's going. This tea break is brought to us by Blueberry Green Tea, because it is. I've already rethreaded the machine for the 7th or 8th time. All I have left to do was sewing it is up that one final side, and then the rest is a little bit of hand sewing, and the rest of the fabrication is all glue. So I'm looking forward to that. I have about an hour or so before I have to go for a run, because I have obligations at 6 o'clock. So I'm going to drink some tea. I'm going to give this ear a couple more tries, and I will update you guys when I have more to share. I'm going to try not to kill this machine. I had to move my phone because I had to plug it in because it's dying, and I realized I had to take it with me on my run. So, what I did differently this time was, instead of running the machine through this way, I ran it through this way. Don't know if that made a difference, but it actually behaved that way. Because I ran it through this way, though, I didn't get to sew all the way up to the top, which means I'm going to have a little bit more hand sewing than I want to have. But is it done? I can put the stinker sewing machine away and not touch it. So say. Praise the Lord! Okay, so I've removed the paper. You can see I've got a couple little flips. Now, in doing the zigzag stitch, I'm hoping that's going to help with getting the hair out from underneath these stitches. However, I have found that it makes it a lot more difficult to remove the tissue paper in one go. I've got a bunch of little straggler bits, so that means I'm going to have to go through with tweezers and remove all those little pieces, and then if I don't get all of them out, hopefully everything else will come out when I do decide, or when I do brush the thing out. So yeah, you can see the top didn't exactly sew, but that's fine. When I do the tip, you won't be able to see that part. So yeah, I'll put the sewing machine away, and then I'll do a little bit of. Well, this is a real roller coaster we were on today, folks. Real roller coaster. That took way longer than I thought that it would. Anyway, so this is the ear we just finished, and this is the ear that I finished last night. You can see what I'm talking about how this, you can't really see where the stitches are. With this one, you can totally see where the stitches are. This is when you take a comb, like so, and you just kind of brush all the hair out, removing all of any paper that's left behind, as well as getting the, you can see already, just this couple little things, how you can sort of see it, but it's going away. So yeah. When it comes to fake fur, not that anybody is watching this actually for a tutorial, but when it comes to fake fur, you don't really want to brush it. You're going to pull all the fibers out, and it kind of damages it. So you want to be really gentle when you do this. You don't really want, like, I'm upset that I'm losing this much hair, but, you know, you can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, or however that goes. Anyway, you're going to try to get as much of the fur out from underneath there as possible. And then in the future, if you need to freshen up the fur, you're just going to take a blow dryer. I learned this from like a Jim Henson-y kind of Instagram channel. You're going to go ahead and just take a blow dryer and on a low heat setting and just zhuzh over it. And then that'll bring the hair back to life, so you don't have to actually brush it. So when you go to brush out the fur, you're going to do the back, and then you can do the sides, and then you do the front. That's probably where I'm going to leave you guys for today. At least for right now. I'm going to do this for a little bit, and this isn't very riveting entertainment. And then I'm going to go for a run. And who knows, maybe later I will come back and work on these some more. But by that point, they will be all brushed out and gorgeous. So this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me struggle for real. Was what it was. And I will see you guys soon.